Hey everybody, it's Kelly. I'm at Loka Yoga today, and I thought that I would share a little bit of my Star Wars insight into the dark side. Okay, so I'm wearing my Darth Vader shirt, and I love this shirt because you can see how the fighters, you can think of it two ways. The fighters are either coming to form the helmet or moving to the dark side, or maybe it's the dissolving of the dark side. And the TIE fighters are actually flying away from the mask and moving away from the dark side, not embracing the dark side, right? So you think about it either way. I love this shirt. The dark side is something that we all have, right? We all have a dark side. We all have a side to us that we are maybe a little bit fearful of. But in Star Wars, especially Yoda talks quite a bit about fear and anger and how those things can lead to the dark side. This day and age that we're in is scary. There's a lot of fear. There's fear everywhere because we don't know what is happening with this virus. Everything is different. Everything is changed. And that creates an opportunity for fear to really come up and be very noticeable for us as beings. We can have depression, we can have anxiety around not knowing what is going on and not having an idea about how things are going to develop and move in the future. So just offering some reassurance that Star Wars and yoga both can help to settle the fear and settle the dark side down a bit so that the good, the force, the life force, the prana, your breath, however you want to think about it, can rise up in you and give you strength. So I want to tell you a couple things first. I've got a couple of notes here about anger. So in order for us to be peaceful, we have to be able to control our emotions. And anger is a very difficult one to master. But we can remember that it's a secondary emotion. It's something that is it's a choice that we can make. We can choose to be angry. We can choose to go down that path of anger and violence. Or we can choose to slow down and to breathe and stay in control of our emotions. So people, places, and things remind us of something that's still wounded within us. And we lash out with anger to defend our softness. We lash out and we form like an armor around our softness, around our hearts, so that we can't be hurt. We think we can't be hurt again in the future. Next time you get angry, ask yourself, what is this really about? Are you humiliated? Are you wrong? Were you offended? Instead of reacting in anger, can you take time to cool down and think about what happened? Talk about it with a friend or someone in your family. Meditate or practice some yoga and try to be in the moment. The most important thing would be to be in the moment and to be with the difficulty and to be with your breath so that you can transcend it and move beyond it, right? Yoda says, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. When you look at the dark side, careful you must be, for the dark side looks back. I really like that because the dark side is something that we can't escape from. The dark is in each of us. The shadow is in each of us. So we have to look at it. We have to look at it and do the hard thing of facing the fear. And if we go to Star Wars and we think about all the heroes in Star Wars and how they have to do hard things and how they have to look at themselves and look at the fear and face the fear, right? Luke has to face his father. He has to face Darth Vader. It's so scary, but he has the courage and he does it anyway. And that's just one example, right? So Yoda offers this, and yoga offers this also. Yoga, they're very similar. Close your mouth, open your ears, you must. Then hear what your true heart is seeking, you will. So Yoda encourages us to slow down, to focus on our breathing, to meditate, and feel the force within ourselves, right? So I want to share a little story with you too, a quick story. This is a Cherokee story, and it's called The Two Wolves. This might be familiar to you. It's always good for me to hear this story again. It helps me to remember that I have a choice. We each have a choice. So, there was once an old Cherokee who was teaching his grandson about life. You know, there's a terrible fight going on inside me, he said to the boy. This fight is between two wolves. One of the wolves is evil. He is anger, he is envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, deceit, false pride, superiority, and ego. That's a lot of stuff there, isn't it? We can be any number of those things, or a combination maybe of some of those things. The other wolf is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. I think even just hearing myself say the difference in the evil thoughts, the evil emotions, the evil feelings, and the way that I read the good, the more positive, there's a difference in the way those words come out of me. There's something softer about the good. I can feel that in the way that I actually say those things in the story. So the little boy asks, "Grandfather, is that going on inside of me too?" And he says, yes. Grandfather says, yes, it is. It's going on inside of everyone, every single person. And the boy asks, well, which one is going to win? Which wolf is going to win? And the grandfather says, the one you feed. The one you feed is the one that will win. So we can think about our own selves, our own minds, our own actions. Do we want to feed the bad wolf, the evil wolf, and continue with fear and greed and hatred and insecurities, arrogance, guilt, self-pity, all of those things? It's important to know that those things are definitely part of us, but we don't have to be controlled by those things. We can pause and breathe, be with the difficult emotions, and we can choose to do something different. We can choose to be in a more positive light. We can choose the words and the story that we tell ourselves. We can choose to be good. We can choose to feed the good wolf. And we feed that with kindness. We feed that wolf with kindness, helping others, helping ourselves, choosing activities, people, and things to do that make us feel good, that make us feel better, make us feel happy. I know for me, yoga is a part of that. When I feel bad, I go to my mat and I do yoga, I do my breathing practices, I do some chanting, like, I am one with the force and the force is with me. I am one with the force and the force is with me. I am one with the force and the force is with me. Saying mantras over and over is really helpful. The other thing I like to do is get outside. I like to go out in nature. I walk a lot. I do a lot of trail walking in my neighborhood, and that always makes me feel better. It helps me go from being at a place where I feel really small and constricted and tight and gripped to something more open and expansive and spacious. It reminds me that I might be small in this universe, but I matter. My actions matter. My thoughts matter. And I get to choose. I get to be the one that writes my story, that writes the story of my life. So, the train's coming by. That's my cue to end my video with you right now. So I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of Star Wars wisdom from Yoda, from Darth Vader, from myself, and the story of the two wolves. All right, everybody, have a great day. Get out in nature. Do something that makes yourself feel good. Namaste. Bye.